Although Reiner has already recovered, he admitted that he still feels the impact of the virus to his body.
Napansin ko, a week after kong gumaling, nakapagtaka nga, dun ko yung mga maalat na pagkain, hindi ko masyadong nalalasahan. Pero after a week naman, nawala na rin naman, bumalik na rin.
Dr. Ron Jean Solante, an infectious disease expert, explained that Reiner is experiencing what they call long COVID.
Hanggang ngayon, meron pa rin silang naramdaman even after the second month of the infection. So, this is something new for an infection na nakita natin. We thought na pag viral infection, nawawala kagad. But with this COVID, this is quite unique.
To explain further, the Department of Health said long COVID collectively refers to the debilitating symptoms of the virus. Various studies stated that these include constant headache, chest pain, and breathlessness or fatigue. That's why Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere encouraged recovered patients to undergo a series of subsequent checkups.
Pinag-aaralan ho natin to sa ngayon, kinokolekta natin yung mga information at saka mga individuals who are experiencing this kind of symptoms para mailagay natin sa isang study.
As for the COVID-19 vaccines, the DOH disclosed that a 12.1 billion peso additional budget is needed to inoculate 20% of the target population.
Yan yung mga pauna lang na mga tentative or initial na mga costing and estimate. And we multiply this by the number of those individuals.
The agency said it might need to apply for bank loans or get commitment from an program budget. Officials are optimistic that Congress will help them, especially that the vaccination order came from no less than President Rodrigo Duterte. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
Still on COVID, we have over 2,600 new COVID-19 cases reported today, bringing the tally to nearly 360,000, some 42,000 of which are still active. The virus took the lives of 26 more patients in the last 24 hours, pushing the country's death toll to more than 6,600. Some 310,000, meanwhile, have gotten better from the disease, with 226 new recoveries recorded today. And Malacanang says it leaves it up to the Office of the Ombudsman to pave the way for the release of President Duterte's SALN, or Statements of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth. Palace spokesman Harry Roque was responding to a recent report by the PCIJ, or Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism, where it highlighted the non-disclosure of Duterte's SALN since 2018. The Ombudsman in September ordered to limit the public's access to the SALNs of government officials. Under that Memorandum Circular 1, copies of the SALN may only be provided to a requester if he or she is a duly authorized representative of the declarant. Access to the SALN is also exclusive to those who can present a court order or a request from any of the Ombudsman's field investigation units. In a televised briefing in September, Palace spokesman Harry Roque had insisted that President Duterte was not hiding anything despite the non-release of his assets.
We leave that to the Office of the Ombudsman, which is a constitutional body tasked with implementation of our laws relating to public officers.
We're going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Health Department backs a proposal to appoint Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III as ex-officio chairman of the PhilHealth Board. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III said the move will strengthen the fiscal management measures for the corruption-ridden PhilHealth. Duque also admitted that he has not been present in several board meetings in the past months, citing his role in the government's COVID-19 response. For his part, Dominguez vowed to deliver.
That's our position. If the job is given to me, which I do not seek, I will do my best to do it, to implement it.
And Metro Manila mayors want to shorten curfew hours as several areas in the country begin to ease on lockdown restrictions. MMDA General Manager Jojo Garcia said they've recommended to the IATF to set curfew hours from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. across the NCR except for Navotas. He said the curfew in the city will remain between 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. The council has also proposed to increase church capacity to 30% from the current 10%. And as for the Catholic Church's concerns on the traditional Simbang Gabi, Garcia said they will release guidelines in November.
Ito ang nakikita ng ating economic team sa IATF na makakatulong sa pagtakbo ng ating ekonomiya. Para at least yung mga establishments like restaurants, madagdagan yung kakain sa kanila.
And trains are preparing to let in more passengers, at least with the MRT and LRT lines. Gerard De La Peña with that story.
Markings inside MRT3 coaches have been reconfigured so that passengers will be placed 2 seats apart. The management has also put up markings for standing commuters. The LRT Line 1, meanwhile, has removed the X marks on alternate seats. Passengers will now be seated side by side and separated by plastic barriers.
Ginawa muna natin 30% and then we will observe kung kailan at applicable na yung 50% para naman mapaghandaan ng MRT3 at mapaghandaan din ng ating mga mananakay.
The Transportation Department and the IATF have approved to increase train ridership starting today. The LRT Line 2 and the Philippine National Railways have also been allowed to increase passenger capacity to 30% from 13%. Transport officials hope that the move will translate to more commuters and shorter queues. The waiting time at MRT stations have been decreased after the replacement of rails. Train officials, however, admit that imposing health protocols will be more challenging.
Ang biggest challenge lang naman dyan, yung medyo nagdidikit-dikit na from 1 meter to probably 0.25, 1 seat apart.
Some commuters say the increased capacity in PUVs could be worrisome.
Actually, may takot din talaga kasi the closer, so mas prone to infection.
Nakakatakot yan Unti mo mga bata rin, magiging risk din ng life nila, di ba? Kaya nga kami, sabi ko, buti na lang may mga ganito, may mga shield, may mga face mask, mapuprotection lang kami.
The Light Rail Manila Corporation, however, is allaying the fears.
Internally, meron pong kinonduct yung study ang aming Health, Safety, Environment, and Quality Department. Nag-simulate kami using blow germ mist. And we can confirm na from those findings, even with PPs, nakokontrol yung dispersion of respiratory droplet.
The DOTR says it will eventually increase passenger capacity of trains to 50%. For News 5, Gerard De La Peña, we are One News.
For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.